So, talking about Snatch, this movie came out in what was it, 2000, 2001?
Let's see. When exactly did it come out? Something like that. 2000.
2000, and it's
Prime
got
comedy.
bunch of people in it. It's a kind of an ensemble cast movie. I know we talked about it previously, calling it a heist movie. Would you call it that, or would you call it more of like a caper movie?
Almost like a parody of a heist.
Yeah.
But yeah, technically it is a heist, just with funny comedic elements in it.
Hmm.
So technically it's classified as a heist movie. It's just a go happy heist movie versus a more serious Ocean's 11 type movie.
Yep, yep, yep. That was a good reference there.
We're using cinema.com, but Snatch of the Diamond Heist, Gone Helter Skelter, the rough and tumble world of unlicensed boxing, a colorful Irish gypsy, and a dog, or a dag, as Brad Pitt's character calls it. Um, yeah, it's got a great cast. It's got Brad Pitt, back when he was shredded, young Brad Pitt,
Hmm.
Mickey O'Neill. We got Jason Statham. He's playing Turkish. He's kind of our lead character, I guess you could say. It's from his perspective most of the movie. We got Vinny Jones, Bullet Tooth Tony, um, Benicio del Toro, Frankie Four Fingers, who
who's
was not in
really
the movie.
who's really not in it very long at all.
Well,
I think he's billed. Is he not billed as the top actor there in this movie?
I mean, he is his awaited name, so it's like Brad Pitt getting killed off early. What was that movie that he was in?
Burn After
Burn After
Reading.
Reading. Yeah, kind of similar, but opposite scenario here,
Oh yes,
where
yes,
I think we're gonna see him in the movie a lot longer than he is in it. So, but the
definite.
portion that he was in it, it was used for good comedic effect.
Oh yeah.
Um, as we've talked about before, this director has a style. I'm not sure what you would call it, but basically, Frankie Four Fingers, Benicio del Toro, he's a gambler, has a gambling addiction, and he's our first guy we're introduced who gets the diamond, which is the main objective that all the other thieves are trying to get their hands on. And there's a scene in there where every time it mentions his gambling problem, we get like flashes of Vegas, everything in Vegas, and one quip, 30-second, or I guess almost 10-second.
I maybe is it even maybe shorter than that? I would even say maybe you just.
Like a Family Guy type of
Mhm.
boom, like Vegas, hookers, gambling, money.
And he's sweating.
So
He's patting his head because he's addicted to gambling there, and it's just a little quick glimpse, if you will, just into his background there to let you know more about the character with just that 5 to 10 second montage than they could do in 12 minutes of just talking about it. So
yeah, yeah, it's used very good, very effective. And he does it to a few more characters in this movie as well. But
mhm.
yeah, that's how the movie starts out. We have the Frankie Four Fingers still in the diamond, and then we're introduced to, I believe, Jason Statham right after that.
Yeah,
Um, is Turkish.
yeah, and then just I think Jason Statham, his goal in the movie, what he wants to do is to buy a new RV. That kind of sets the entire movie in motion. If you think about it,
Yeah,
if you remove that one aspect of him wanting to get the new RV, then that completely negates the entire movie. Yeah, the Diamond Heist still kind of goes on, but obviously, if you remove that portion, it would be a completely different movie altogether.
yeah, they keep tripping on each other's toes the more characters are involved, and that's kind of what makes this a funny heist because it's not professional at all. It's not going as smooth as it's supposed to with I think what's his name? Dennis Farina plays
Yes,
cousin Avi.
Cousin Abby.
Yeah,
Yes,
he had a
and
game plan. Go ahead.
I was going to say another great montage with him. Anytime he gets on the plane, he sits there, he pops a couple pills and takes a shot of whiskey, probably, just to
Yeah,
get him through that flight up to London and back. So
yeah, he hates London, doesn't want to be there, but he has to because unfortunately Frankie Four Fingers um, fumbles the bag with the diamond, and it starts going past the diamond starts to pass around different characters. We got Robbie G, Vinny, Lenny James as Soul, and Tyrone, Aid as Tyrone. Those are the characters that
mhm.
end up in the diamond um, for the first part of the movie. And anyways, What do you think in terms of the best performance from the actors?
I really liked Brad Pitt's performance here, just as the fast talking gypsy. You can't understand a single thing he says, and I think even I've got the movie on original DVD here that I bought years ago. I think there's actually a even a subtitle section on there specifically for the gypsy talk, just because so many people didn't understand him. Um,
Kind of
obviously,
like the swamp people. You've
yes, definitely
seen that.
standout performance there from him.
Mhm.
Who did you feel really stood out in this one here?
So I thought, I mean, Brad Pitt's hard to say that he didn't do a good job. He did a great job with the character. Everyone's still quoting that movie saying "dog,
Hmm.
dag." But I have to say, I really liked Vinnie Jones, Bullet Tooth Tony.
Yes.
My opinion, he was just like a cool, calculated. If it was more serious movie, he would have been, I guess, more of a scary threat. But since it had that comedic element to the movie, you could laugh at certain parts. Obviously, with the scene with when they're in the restaurant and he has this gun,
Hmm.
and you can tell it better than I can, I think.
Oh,
But
just the well, number one, I think Vinnie Jones. He is the I would say the smartest character in this movie. Um, Dialogue was really well written for him. Just the whole scene in the bar where the guys are up there and and I can't remember their name, Saul and I don't think Tyrone's there. No, Tyrone does come in at the very end. Either way, when they meet in the bar after they've wrecked, and the Russian he gets out of escapes from the trunk of the car right before the big shootout in the hallway. Just that whole line of dialogue talking about you know how he can see on the side of their gun it's written replica, but on the side of his gun it's Desert Eagle .50. Uh,
mm,
very very smart dialogue given to that character. He did a phenomenal job there.
yeah, how realistic was that shootout there with that
Ah,
desert?
he he tells Avi to pull up his socks, and he just starts blasting through the wall. Amazingly hits the Russian, right? And I don't
Yes.
think he didn't hit anyone else. Goes in there and he puts with that Desert Eagle, which is a 50 caliber handgun, puts like eight
Mhm.
shots. I think it holds eight, maybe seven. Just unloads on the Russian, and every time he does, the Russian, you keep hearing him make noises, or you can hear him breathing or starting to cuss. So I don't know that that's very realistic from a medical standpoint. As a trauma nurse, it's definitely not realistic at all. I think that once you put a 50 caliber through the human body, you've got organs that they've all exploded. He's got like an open chest cavity. There's no way he's getting past the first round or two of that in the body.
No, not at all. But yeah, so I think both of those are two great performances. I think that Jason Statham, obviously, he always does a great job. But that not a show stealer for this role, I
Oh
would
no.
say. Um, I thought Bricktop. You want to talk about Bricktop? Like, dislike?
Ah,
Was he the right? Was he the right guy for the job?
Bricktop. You see, it's stuck out of my head. He's the old guy, right?
Yes, with the
Yes.
glasses. He's the one
Bricktop with
that.
the Carl from Up. He looks like Carl
Yes.
from the Disney Pixar show Up.
Oh,
Didn't I don't know really that I would feel intimidated by him. I guess the characters in the show, they obviously know more about Bricktop's past, feeding people to pigs, but he's more of a I'm going to get someone else to do what I want versus getting his
he's
hands
just
dirty.
yeah,
So,
so it works for him, but I feel like guys like that would be more standoffish, where he was very more confrontational,
mhm,
and I didn't think that fit for him because they're the ones that they have their goons that will, um, be the bully. But I didn't think that it made sense for him to kind of go up to Jason Statham and some of these other guys and start saying threats. It didn't work. It didn't
mhm.
have the same effect. I mean, still like he's gonna get you, so it will work, but it just not the right guy,
Oh
in my
no.
opinion.
I always watch or when I was younger, I always anytime I bought a DVD, I would always look for the director's commentary to come with the disc. And this version of Snatch I've got does have that. And if I recall, Guy Ritchie, the director, even stated that with test audiences, they didn't not like Bricktop enough to the point to where the whole scene where he has the dogs in the cage and he's sitting there poking it with a stick and getting it riled up. That was added in to make viewers more angry with Bricktop and like him even less
Oh,
because
well,
I guess over in the UK that's just guys that beat up on animals are like heavily looked down upon. So they were like, we need to add something in to make him more of a prick, if you will.
yeah.
So,
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that had an effect for sure, but,
mhm.
yeah. Still looks like the guy from Up, so
Oh yeah,
hard to
still
say.
looks like Carl from Up. Just looking at it overall as the heist caper movie, I mean, the diamond itself probably changed hands. Someone's probably got it listed on the internet how many times it changed hands. I'm gonna
The
say,
dog
yeah,
is
and then
infamous.
the dog gets it at the end, 12 to 15 times maybe. Um, the entire story, I don't know that you can remove any portion of the story and the movie still works the way it does. It is so tightly written and fast paced. That's we were talking about the editing in general, but just the entire story even is so fast paced that I don't feel like this is something you could, do something else while you're watching this movie. I don't think you could get away with that and still understand what's going on and where it's at. What do you think?
No. Yeah, it wasn't overtly complicated, but it was who's fumbling the diamond because every character that had it was goofy up until you had a more serious. Like Avi wouldn't let the diamond. If he had it, it'd be secure, or if Jason Statham had it, it'd be secure. But when you have other characters like the gambling Frankie Four Fingers, and you have Goofy, Tyrone, these guys aren't going to be able to hold on, or even Mickey. He's not. They're not going to do a good job of holding on to that diamond. But yeah, I think you definitely have to sit through. You can't go too many pee breaks and not pay attention. You have to hit pause for sure to watch this movie because you got
Oh
to find
yeah.
out where the diamond's at because that's still the center of the movie. It is still the heist movie, but big on the underground fighting and the bare knuckle boxing, which I was a huge fan of. And then this director directed the Sherlock Holmes movies, and I was thinking when I was watching it because I didn't know the director that well. Like this reminds me of Sherlock Holmes, where he discombobulates the guy and it does a whole fight breakdown.
Hmm.
Very similar cinematography, and I thought it was a good bare knuckle boxing. Not movie, but scenes. They
Oh
were
yeah.
good.
Even just with just the fighting when I think it's Gorgeous George is the character's name when they first go to buy the RV from the gypsies, and then the back axle gets torn off, and they're like, you get what you paid for. Once you took it, it's yours. And then they end up getting in the fight there, and just that whole scene where Gorgeous George is throwing Brad Pitt around. And then Brad Pitt takes off his shirt and he's still in Fight Club shape. I can't
Yeah.
remember. Fight Club came out. Did it come out before this? Was it after
No, no,
this?
no. I feel like this movie landed him the role.
Mhm.
Yeah, let me see because I had this pulled up. Oh, you know what? Nope, 1999. I'm wrong.
So this was the
So,
year after then. So he was still in
yeah,
shape from Fight Club then.
100%. And I guess director saw him in Fight Club was like, I might as well. This guy could do bare knuckle boxing, no problem,
Mhm.
for
Yep.
his movie.
I feel
Also,
I feel
great
like it
acting.
kind of got just the way they did it though with the knockout punch. I understand why they did it. It's so fast that the human eye can't see it happening. I do feel a little cheapened of that. I wish there was, even just one frame that showed the actual punch. Um,
Mhm.
I don't know,
Mhm.
but that's just me. That's always me looking at movies, thinking of and obviously I'm not a director. I have no skill in this at all. I'm a complete
Yeah.
amateur, but I'm like, oh, this could have made it better.
In an entertainment perspective, that's what we're talking about. That would have been nice to see. So.
Hmm.
But still, I like the dirty, grimy underground fight scenes. So,
Yep, yep. What would you
I
say is
think
your favorite part of the movie?
favorite part of the movie. Um, Man, there's a lot of good parts of the movie. I thought this isn't my favorite, but when Tyrone backs up into Frankie Four Fingers' van, yeah, they're just waiting on the guy because
Hmm.
they're trying to get the diamond, and they don't know when this guy is going to come out of the store with the diamond, and the guy was stuck in the van the entire time. I thought that was pretty funny. I would have to say the fight scenes. I love MMA, UFC. Big fan of those combat sports, and yeah, so I liked all the fight scenes. I thought they're pretty good, pretty well done. I like the scene with the Desert Eagle. That was hilarious with Vinnie Jones, as well as the car scene. That was chaotic. You know, and that's when,
Mhm.
like, almost like all their storylines started to merge a bit, and
Yes.
then it was, like, shifting real quick to different perspectives. It was just absolute chaos, and then
Oh,
the
yeah.
Russian's life as he's walking in the streets. That was probably the best scene of the movie, in my opinion.
Oh,
But
yeah.
there's a lot to like here. So,
I
what about you?
I don't know that I can say there was necessarily one scene that I enjoyed the most. I enjoyed all of the freaking comedy, the one-liners that, and I've probably seen this movie at least 20 times over the last 23 years since it came out. But just the various bits of comedy, like you're talking about the scene where Tyrone's parking the car and they're like, well, why can't you park over there? And he's like, it's a bit tight. And they're like, you could park a fucking jumbo jet over there. Um, and
Yeah.
just the various lines of dialogue where the one guy's telling the other, he's like, I got us these replica guns and I got extra loud blanks. He's like, what's the point of the extra loud
Yeah,
blanks in case you want to deafen them to death?
yeah,
Um, it's just so well written. The comedy overall, it keeps you laughing and keeps you engaged, and I think that's one of the most important parts of a movie is that engagement to where it can grab you and keep you watching. The action is there. The action scenes are all phenomenal. I do like that point we're talking about where like everything converges. I can't remember. There was something about him drinking milk and when he throws it out the window and then it splashes on the other car's windshield that has the
yeah.
the Russian in the back.
When they
Um,
when he gets out.
mhm.
Yep.
So
Mhm.
definitely, the action is top notch in this movie. It keeps you pulled and entertained and just stuck on the screen the entire way through. And it's just a movie that
Yeah,
I can't recommend to more people. If you haven't seen it yet, it's definitely something you got to watch it. Just at least once.
yeah, this is my first time watching it, and I'm surprised I haven't seen it before 'cause, it was hilarious.
Hmm.
So,
Need to get more like that.
what
Go ahead.
oh, are we at the section where we are giving ratings
Yeah,
or
yeah.
not?
So in this video here, how would you rate this movie?
Everyone knows the rules. Once you say a rating, you gotta stick by it. I would say
Mhm.
I'm gonna give it an 88.
88. I'd still roll an 84. It for the type of movie it is, um, because it falls into those different genres, right?
Yeah.
I mean, there are other movies that do because it has so many genres combined into one movie. I feel that
Mm,
that pulls it back just a tad bit because there's other, a movie that is like solely action, MMA fighting, may have done it better, or a comedy may have done it a little bit better. But definitely, I would say definitely 84. And you said 88.
yeah, I just think alone for the directing, the cast, all-star cast, like you said, it's funny throughout, and that, like, you can sit pretty easily for it's like an hour and 40 minutes. It doesn't go over. It tells the story to completion, doesn't drag anything out, and so I think that deserves an 88 for sure because you can watch this. Like I've seen The Matrix a bunch. It's my dad's favorite movie. It's a great movie. It's easy to turn on. This is something for a heist movie that I would rewatch. And if you're not a heist like fan, but I'm pretty sure most people like comedy, you would watch this, despite if you give a crap about the heist and the complexities of the heist, because it's just a funny movie. So yeah, I'm gonna stick with an 88. I think it's
Mhm.
a pretty good movie. I think it might be one of this director's best as well. Top 5 at least.
Can you think
So
of any other comparable movies that you could compare this to? I know we've mentioned Sherlock Holmes a couple times, but that doesn't. I don't feel
I
that that one's the same genre.
the genre-wise, I feel like it's almost its own category in terms of, like, funny heist. I guess it's a bad comparison. The movie with the workaholic, uh you've seen Workaholics?
No.
Comedy Central? No? Okay, well, they did a heist movie, and it was pretty dumb, pretty bad. It's pretty hard to make a heist movie funny. I can't really and most heist movies are so serious. I don't really know one that's, like,
Yeah,
funny, like, um,
I
it
think
can compare.
Ocean's 11 maybe would be
Yeah, it has some
but it's not as heavy on the comedy as this one is. So
yeah, because it's still, like, trying to be sexy and somewhat serious, but you got, like, some guys making jokes every once in a while, keep it lighthearted,
yeah,
not take itself too seriously. Um But yeah, no, I think that's another reason to have a high rating. It's unique,
Yeah,
I think.
absolutely. All
Yeah.
right. Well, that's it for Snatch. Definitely a movie that we both recommend watching. If you haven't done so yet and you enjoyed this content, and we're just beginning at this, so it's only going to get better from here. But thanks for watching, family and friends, because that's probably who is watching this, our first video anyway. But don't forget to hit that subscribe button and that thumbs up. It helps us out. We appreciate it. And any last words, Jake, or we'll catch them next time?
Yeah, no, just ready for the next movie. We're doing a recent one, or are we going back to old school?
I don't know. There's we could do an old school one because there's that movie you just finished that I'm still watching on Netflix right now.
Early
Um,
Confidence. Speaking
yeah.
of more crime movies, we're becoming a crime
hmm
channel.
Well, we're not gonna just hammer home just on that. Anything goes, but
Yep,
definitely new videos coming soon. So,
yep, yep. All right, guys, take care.
all right. Thanks for watching. We'll catch y'all next time.